Hello, Chevra. Welcome to the first edition of Torah from the Vineyard. These are short videos on Torah subjects with inspiration that I'm going to give over while I'm working out here in the winery, in the vineyard, in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Canada. And they're going to parallel what we're learning in the classes during the week, but just a little bit of short review sessions. If you like what you see here, subscribe to the channel, and you can see the lessons that are much more in depth from Rabbi Nachman. And also continue to listen to these short videos, which are hopefully going to be inspirational and give us some chizuk throughout the week. So the concept we're talking about this week is stories of tzaddikim. Why do tzaddikim, chassidus rebbes, other tzaddikim, why do they tell over stories? What is so special about giving over morals, lessons, life advice in story form? So in the video that we released this week, the introduction to the Lost Princess, we told over there 3 stories from the Baal Shem Tov about the concept of telling stories. I suggest you go check it out. It's the first lesson in the Lost Princess on our Lost Princess series. Check it out. 3 great stories from the Baal Shem Tov. Who doesn't want to hear a story from the Baal Shem Tov, right? But the concept is very, very easy and very quick like this. When we hear a story, as opposed to just giving over information in dry point form, when we hear a story, we're able to see ourselves in that story. We're able to see our own life in that story. So the moral that's being taught or the inspiration that's being given over, we can see it as if it's through our own eyes. It goes into our heart and it goes into our soul as if we were experiencing that. And sometimes when we hear a story that's telling us over something deep, giving us over some great advice, we see our own personal life in that story. We see our own personal story in that story. And then it makes sense to us. Oh, I get why that is a great piece of advice. I get why that is inspiring, because that's me. That story is not just something about someone else, it's me, right? So this is the power of stories. And it's so powerful that really, if you never thought about this, this is mind-blowing. But Hashem gave us the Torah, right? And the Torah is meant to be divine wisdom in a form that we can receive it. This is the way that Hashem communicates His divine wisdom with us. And how did He write the Torah? Did He write it in point form? Did He write it as a thesis, giving over information? No. Hashem wrote the entire Torah, all of Tanakh, is stories. The whole thing is in the form of stories. He could have just told us, you know, there's a mitzvah of Rosh Chodesh, there's a mitzvah of Shabbos, there's a mitzvah of this, there's a mitzvah of that. It's important to be a good person. It's important to have good character traits. But He didn't do that. He wrote all of those ideas into stories. Hashem is showing us that the way to get information, not only into someone's head, but into someone's heart, is through stories. So it's no accident, and it's no coincidence that Rabbi Nachman, at the end of his life, after he had written Likutei Moharan, and it had been published, he said, I can see that the Torah that I'm teaching you and the important ideas that I'm teaching you are not necessarily getting in as deep as they should. It's time that I started telling stories. And so he started telling these amazing, deep Kabbalistic stories in the form of children's fables. Why? Because stories go into our heart and go into our soul. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you like what you see here, try out the other series on our website, on our YouTube channel, Likutei Moharan, The Lost Princess, and other things. And stay tuned, subscribe, and keep on hearing Torah from the Vineyard. All the best.